Can't talk about autism without talking about white supremacy, and this painting by Anishinaabe artist Norval Morrisseau is going to show us exactly why. So on the left is an indigenous animist cosmology where the human body does not end at the skin. Perception is entangled with land and animals and ancestors and spirit. Reality is multi-dimensional, relational, and alive. On the right is the European cosmology that arrived through colonization, patriarchal, materialist, hierarchical. So what does this mean? The human being is an object among other objects. You can see this in the painting. The witch trials, the destruction of indigenous Europe, and centuries of spiritual repression left a worldview anchored in traumatic dissociation. So relationship becomes hierarchical, competitive, and controlled. When these cosmologies collided, the violence was not only physical, it was also spiritual. And the victors, through obscene conquest, decided what counts as normal in our society. So for hundreds of years, white European men have controlled the definition of what is scientific, what is real, what is rational, what is human, and what is disordered. And these definitions shaped eugenics, institutionalization, forced sterilization, and the euthanizing of autistic people. Why? Because autism has been named a disorder inside this traumatized, spiritually severed, linear worldview. There are characteristics of the autistic brain and nervous system that directly threaten colonial, quote unquote, normalcy. Number one, a porous boundary between the self and the energetic field. So the autistic perception is less dissociated, it is more attuned, it is exactly what colonial rationality rejects. Differences in mirror neuron syncing. Autistic people don't automatically fall into hierarchical social scripts or perform the emotional obedience that colonial order has always depended on. Less synaptic pruning. The autistic brain retains more pathways, meaning it takes in more of the relational field instead of collapsing reality into a single linear channel. So when you see autism through this lens, the pathologizing makes a lot of sense. Autistic people have always threatened the colonial worldview, not because we're disordered, but because we perceive too much. We feel what other people numb, we notice what others filter out, we register the living world that the dominant culture has been violently trained to ignore. So for many autistic people, even the smallest microaggression can carry this same clash of cosmologies. You're gaslit for perceiving, quote unquote, too much. Your sensitivity becomes a weapon that is used against you, and your access to a wider, truer field of reality is framed as a defect by someone who's comfortably ensconced in the very narrow band of consciousness that has been labeled sanity.